What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. With today being Tuesday, we are jumping into DC Comics. The first video of the day is going to be Batman Catwoman, The Gotham War Battle Lines issue number 1. With this story picking up 8 weeks after Night Terrors. Crime in Gotham is at an all-time low, with Selina Kyle being the coordinated effort in Gotham leading the reduction in violent crime. The question now is at what cost? And then there's Batman, who is still recovering from his epic battle through the multiverse. Still recovering from the horrors of Night Terrors. But there is only one name that is running through his mind, and that is Catwoman. Coming from writers Chip Zdarsky and Tini Howard. Working alongside them is also Matthew Rosenberg. And so, the 2-month Batman vs. Catwoman, the Gotham War, it all starts right here. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so this story, it starts us off with one of our local henchmen. He has worked for a variety of these powerful underworld criminals. From Riddler to Freeze to Pig. And in his mind, they are all the same. All of them always hoarding all the wealth for themselves. Always getting the short straw. And while he is somebody that can definitely take all of this, he doesn't think that it is fair to her, the one that he cares about. While contemplating all of this in his mind, that is when an alley cat comes up to the window. This cat carrying a message, telling the henchman that if you risk your life, you deserve the rewards, and it gives him a location of where he should be. But that's what picks us up with the Bat. From Failsafe to Red Mask, Batman hasn't stopped in weeks. And then Insomnia shows up. He turns the world into a nightmare. And though our heroes were able to escape this disaster, they were able to take down Insomnia. It came at a heavy cost for Batman. At the end of Night Terrors, we see Batman pass out. Now that comic will be the next video that we upload today. But with him passing out, he sees Batman of Zur-En-Arrh. This has been a lingering problem in the back of Batman's mind. Being Batman's failsafe identity, he knows that he should get rid of him, but he is too worried on the what-ifs. If something happens, if Batman of Zur-En-Arrh is not there to take over, Batman could die, he could lose. He is such a paranoid man that he won't allow this. That is why Batman of Zur-En-Arrh is still here. But in this slumber, Batman also sees somebody else with Batman of Zur-En-Arrh. Not sure who it is or what that might be. Obviously, there is something else brewing underneath the surface. But this is where Batman wakes up, after 8 weeks of slumber back in the Batacombs. The first person he speaks to is Oracle. She lets him know that he has been out for 8 weeks. He had passed out right after the encounter with Insomnia, but she does her best to catch him up, but also wants to mention the fact that Batman is missing a hand. And this is something that he has been keeping secret ever since he returned from fighting Red Mask. But the cat is finally out of the bag. He does brush it off as if it was nothing more than an accident. But he wastes no time, he goes in, he suits up. 8 weeks off the streets of Gotham, he knows that there is work to be done. Now he plans to take stock, to reach out to everybody. But tonight, he needs this to be out there. He needs to be on the streets. He needs to maintain the illusion of Batman, at least before the world finds out that he is only human, that the years are catching up to him. But until then, he will remind the world exactly who he is. This is where he goes to take on some jewel thieves, assuming that these are hired hands by the usual Freeze or Joker or somebody else. But as he chases these guys down, he sees that this is a real chase. And for the first time in a long time, Batman loses them. They set up a distraction. The window was all just a trick. They had gone through the vents. He knows what this is. This is a familiar scheme, a professional one, and now he is recognizing that something has changed in Gotham. This is what picks us up with Catwoman, training one of her brand new apprentices. Trying to change Gotham, she is out here pushing them away from violent crime, and really pushing them down the path of Robin Hood, to steal from the rich and give to yourself. Obviously, that's not how that goes, but that's how they are operating. But with Roland's training at least being done for today, they head back inside and we see that they have a whole operation going on here, from Marquise to Fuller. But Catwoman, she is calling everybody in, all of her head lieutenants if you will, and she is letting all of them know that Batman is awake. Now, while some of them believe that there is only one Batman and at least a dozen of them, that they shouldn't be worried, Catwoman says that most of you have never seen him up close, that it's not as simple as we have the numbers. Catwoman is putting an external training on hold. Newbies are staying inside the training compound, and word is going out to all the recent graduates to be extra careful because no score is worth your life or anybody else's. Catwoman was really hoping that they just had more time. They are finally up and running, and she's hoping that Batman can't deny that this is working, that he may have his problems, but he loves this city so much that he has to see it is changing. It is becoming something different, and she hopes something better. As she prepares for her next meeting, we pick up with Robin fighting against Maxi Zeus. As these two have their little fight, Batman comes in from the sky. He puts Zeus down, and Robin, he wastes no time going over and hugging Batman. But while these two have a really warm interaction, Batman and Robin are both learning that henchmen are in short supply these days. Batman's trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Where are all the henchmen? This is when Robin says that you may have turned off your comms, but Oracle has gotten communication. She is letting us know that Catwoman wants to sit down, masks off, and have a discussion. This is what takes us over to the Kitty Cat Club. The Bat family has been brought here today for a meeting. Batman showing up fashionably late. It doesn't take long for Selina Kyle to come in and start throwing her pitch, starting by going off and talking about how they all want to make the city a better place. And if they haven't noticed yet, violent crime is down almost 75%. This is mostly because the pool of hired help, it has been greatly diminished. And this is all because she has been training them to be elite cat burglars. That there are no more smash and grabs, no more armed robbery, no more henchmen. And she has given them rules. They're only allowed to steal from the city's wealthiest. That no score is worth your life. No violence, no confrontation. They also have to donate 15% of their gains to Gotham charities. This is why the streets are quiet. This is why the villains are floundering. And now her operation is getting big enough that she needs something from the Bat family. She needs the Bat family to leave them alone. Now, of course, Nightwing is the first to say that this isn't a solution, that you're simply changing the crime, with Tim Drake chiming in saying yes, that is true, but people aren't losing their lives. And a millionaire waking up not having as many jewels as he did the previous day, that's not that heavy of a loss, especially considering that they can write that off on insurance. Damian Wayne, of course, opposes this, but Batman, with a steady and heavy no, looking around the room saying that he can't believe what he's hearing. They have a mission. They stop crime. They do not allow some crime simply because they appear more acceptable than others. Asking Selina, did you really think that we would just sit by and watch a crime take place? But Selina believes that if you attack my people, all you're doing is increasing the kinds of crimes that you are so desperate to stop, the violent ones. But Batman says that this is wrong, that targeting one set of people in place of another doesn't solve the problems. This is where she kinda loses it on Batman, saying that he is clearly furious because he has wasted his fortune, his brain on bat cars and punching people. But it took compassion to solve this problem. That the two of them never got married because Gotham needed a Batman. But now Gotham doesn't need him. It obviously needed Selina Kyle. This is where Batman turns his back and he goes to leave. That he wants change for this city, but not like this. The rest of the Bat family saying that they're not sure what to make of all of this. With Robin chasing after Batman, Robin tries to talk some sense into him, to try and see some kind of reason. But the way Batman sees it, he's not gonna sit in that room and try to reason with everybody. Everyone in that room is a victim of a crime. He took everybody in, helped them move past that, to help them. And now it seems that they are all deciding who gets to be the victim. To Batman, there is nothing to debate. Picking up a little bit later that evening, we have Catwoman returning back to her place. But as she does, we see that Red Hood had followed her. He quickly learns that that was a grave mistake. With Red Hood getting kicked through a door, Catwoman is furious. She has to be left alone, and now she finds out that he was following her to her home. As the two of them start to brawl, the bodyguard of Catwoman coming into the room, the woman known as Iko, once working for the Yakuza. She helps in kicking Red Hood's butt. And once Red Hood has been put on the ground, Catwoman tells him to get out. But Red Hood is here for more than one reason, because when Batman comes, they don't need the Junior Bats to stay out of the way. She's gonna need them that get it to purr into his ear. She's gonna need help from the inside. And Red Hood, he is one that gets it. And so she agrees, giving him a number to contact, saying that this will be their only source of communication, that he cannot be seen around here in any way, shape, or form. And she also reiterates that there is no killing. The last thing that they need right now is an angrier Batman. Now, as we pick up with Batman later that evening, he knows that he is losing control. Control is all he ever had. Over his mind, over his body, over his city. Gotham has always been unlawful. This is why he exists. And the people who followed him into this life, he thinks maybe he's been blinded by his affection for them, thinking that all of his shared missions, that they all put on their costumes, pretended to be Nightwing or Robin. But Batman isn't pretending. This is who he is. But seeing the bat signal up, he goes to see who it is. Arriving on location, this is where he runs into Commissioner Montoya. With Batman being gone for 8 weeks, she just wanted to make sure that he was still alive, but also wanting to point out that he disappears and crime goes down. Now, Commissioner Montoya has never been a big fan of his, but right now there's a jailbreak that happened, Selina Kyle being the one to lead it. Commissioner Montoya is wanting to know if Batman knows anything about this. Batman obviously takes this very poorly, with everything already going on, and now Commissioner Montoya really just saying that the city has been better off without you, that you're not as needed as you may believe you to be. And watching all of this transpire is the Riddler. It appears that he might be thinking of joining up with Batman, of making some new friends. But as we pick up later that evening, we have Roland, who is out here doing his first robbery. The family is out of town. The alarms are disabled. He thought he was gonna get away with all of the jewels. But what he didn't know is that somebody was here. Somebody armed with a gun. We pick up a little bit later. A crime scene, GCPD, and Batman showing up on scene. There has been a death. The death of Roland. Spent his time in Blackgate. A single father making bad decisions. Everyone makes bad choices. And now this man, this father, is dead, leaving an orphan. This is what Batman fights for. The mission has been tainted. They stop crime because they are Batman. And in the pool of blood, we see the image of Batman of Zur-En-Arrh. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. An interesting direction that this story is taking us. Now, Batman has been on this downward spiral for a little bit of time now. He keeps on telling himself that he's gonna take a break, that he's gonna stop for a moment, but he has not gotten the opportunity in a long time. That 8 weeks of sleep was probably very much needed. But now with everything going on with the city, with the Bat family questioning everything going on, with Catwoman now starting up her own little crime organization, Batman is being put into a corner. He is a man with simple principles. He stops the bad guys. But now, as it's titled, battle lines are being drawn. Obviously, people are picking sides. But what happens when the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh is the one to come? Which of the Bat family will stand by his side? Which will fight against the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh? Because there is no question about it. Batman's mental state has been breaking. Batman of Zur-En-Arrh has been gathering power. And now it is only a matter of time before he makes his play, before he tries to take over Batman completely, before the Bruce Wayne persona is pushed to the back of the mind, trapped away like Batman of Zur-En-Arrh has been this whole time. All in all, I think this is off to a great start. Now, I'm not one to agree with Catwoman and think that what she's doing is the best option for Gotham, but it's an option that is working. Violent crime is an all-time low. No matter how you flip that, that's a win. Now, burglary definitely saw an increase, and it is hard to have empathy for people that are so rich. People that have jewels and diamonds that could pay your rent for an entire year. But Batman is correct. No matter the people that have crime or become a victim, they are still the victim. A crime is still happening. And whether that be violent crime or not violent crime, it doesn't change the fact that these are not victimless crimes, which means Batman will try to stop her and anybody else that stands in his way. But it does bring up a good discussion on ethics. The centuries-old question, is stealing a loaf of bread bad or good? Ethically and morally, if you're stealing a loaf of bread for your family to feed your children, there are people that would see this in black and white, that it doesn't matter why you did it, you did it. But there are others more empathetic and understanding that see it not so much as a crime, but survival. That yes, it is technically wrong, but how wrong can it be if you're simply trying to feed your kids? If you're just doing what is absolute necessity to keep them alive? And I think that that is really going to be the dilemma, the ethic line that we are going to be tiptoeing back and forth over. Where you have somebody like Batman who sees everything in black and white. It is either a crime or it is not a crime. But then you have Catwoman who wants to make a change to Gotham, not by stopping all crime, but changing the terms of the crimes. By making those crimes non-violent, which means people aren't getting beaten up, they're not getting murdered, they're not getting hurt. But how good of a case is that when Roland, one of your guys, was just murdered? Or he was killed. You can't call it murder because he broke into a home. It's going to be a very interesting debate moving forward. And I, for one, am very excited to see where all of this goes. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with Batman, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on with the Bat. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50. From loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.